Chief? I have the report from Lab 3. Chief? Begging your pardon, but reading x-rays in the dark like that is really hard on your eyes.
True.
What in the world are you reading that has you all wrapped up like this? That's an official military envelope, isn't it?
Let's continue our experiment, shall we? My sweet boy from the 901st.
It's time for some war relief.
I tell you, the war's been over 3 years and this country's still falling apart.
You got that right, brother. No houses, no jobs. At least I had 3 hots and a cot, plus all I could drink when the war was on. I'm telling you, I'm about this far away from re-enlisting, man. Oh, hey, you up?
What's wrong? You look like you had another one of those dreams.
You were talking in your sleep again, man.
Actually, I had a kind of good dream last night.
Okay, Viscount Wilkins. Now, who was he again?
Remember? He almost killed us, you lame brain. The guy who was shooting at us with a tank?
Oh, right. Now it's coming back to me. The creepy little rich kid with the tank, I remember.
You've really just limited your memory to women's names, haven't you?
The problem here, people, isn't the Viscount, but rather his tank.
And what problem is that, Lieutenant? What do you mean?
The autoloader behind the gun breech in the main turret, that's what. Imperial armor hasn't even come close to perfecting something like that yet, and there's definitely no good reason why some Viscount out in the sticks should have one.
Then it looks like someone else has already gone ahead and perfected that technology.
I need Section 3 to find out how a man like Walkins got his hands on technology like that.
Instead of going through all that trouble, Lieutenant, wouldn't it just save us a lot of time by asking Wilkins himself where he got the tank from?
Well, you could try, Sub-Lieutenant. But I don't think you're going to get much of an answer from him at the moment.
I'm a noble. I'm the greatest noble in the whole wide world. I'm important. Yes, I am.
He was checked into the mental ward at the military hospital. So then, our next lead.
Professor Cortu? I'll bite. Who is he then?
Oh, give me a break, will you? I bet you'd remember who he is if he was a woman, wouldn't you? The professor's contributions to the early stages of Imperial tank development earned him the nickname Father of the Tank, and you were supposed to remember that from your classes at the Academy. If anyone could possibly know anything about the workings of the tank and the autoloader, it would be him. Martis, are you okay over there?
Oh, it's nothing really. Huh? You're asking what kind of guy Corporal Oland is? Well, Lieutenant, he's just a big, kind-hearted guy, I guess.
The thing about tanks is, They're the most powerful land-based weapon we can deploy. 10 tons of tempered steel rolling over the battlefield. Even reinforced positions aren't safe from them. Mobility, firepower, shock effect, and death all wrapped up in one tidy little package. Even so, out of nowhere comes Randall Olin, and he uses a handgun to stop a tank. Amazing, huh? One round through the viewport shutter kills the driver. Another almost gets Walkins through the top hatch, places where the armor's the thinnest. You might want to find out more about him. Anyone who can cling to that tank and take those shots isn't exactly easy going.
Sub-Lieutenant? Sir? Are you doing all right there, sir? You're really not looking well at all.
Hey! Olin, get off me! I can't breathe!
No, I'm fine, really.
Great man who lives in a great slum. Nice.
Stow it! Are you in, Professor? I'm Second Lieutenant Alice L. Malvin from Intelligence, State Section 3.
He's probably some ultra-crotchety old man who doesn't get along with anyone.
You will forgive me for being crotchety in advance, then. I am Professor Cortu. How may I help you people?
Hey, it's such a privilege to finally meet the man who has all those textbook entries written about him at the Academy. The name Professor Cortu just automatically says the father of the Imperial tank. No doubt about it. Whenever I see one of our valiant tanks in action, I get a greater and greater appreciation of your genius all the time, Professor. Yes, sir, I certainly do. Yep.
I never saw anything close to this design when I worked for the Army. The Western Alliance's technological conference didn't advertise this hull either.
Well, isn't that strange?
The systems on this tank are far in advance of anything any country has at the moment. And your analysis?
Sir?
How thoroughly have you been able to analyze this tank?
Intelligence is just starting to pull it apart.
I see. Just starting. Fine. Unfortunately, these roughs and sketches aren't telling me anything that might help you.
Thank you, Professor. It's appreciated.
Huh? We just got here and now we're leaving? Lieutenant, ma'am, wait a second.
That gun. Corporal Olin's gun. Hey, Professor, what's this one?
Oh, that little gem is called the Door Knocker.
Door Knocker?
A prototype 13mm anti-tank handgun. The most impractical thing I'd ever seen proposed. The idea was to create a handheld weapon that you could issue to an infantryman to enable him to defeat a tank in battle.
Unprotected infantry? Against armor?
Like I said, it's highly impractical. Since the men themselves couldn't be re-engineered, they came up with this. A large caliber infantry handgun that holds a single 13mm round in the chamber and reloads one shot at a time. If you want to see what one of these might have been, there it is.
13mm.
Optimized for destructive power and recoil. I'm quite certain it was designed to strike fear into anyone staring down its barrel. But it hardly poses any sort of threat to today's primary battle tanks. No, my friend, there's only one way you could use a gun like this and have any impact on a panzer division. Yeah. Blast away at point-blank range, right up against the armor, knocking on the door!
Point-blank? Door Knocker.
The project itself ended up being cancelled, and not a single one of these guns was ever produced or used in battle. Even this display is just a mock-up. The psychological effect of something as powerful as a tank. Would any sane infantryman have the poise or the wherewithal about him to stare his own mortality in the face like that.
What took you so long? We've been out here forever.
Sorry about that.